John Thomas Blagburn would not have been the most likely subject in newspapers or articles, yet he was in many of them. He likely would not have been the expected subject for what two newspapers would call one of the best known and highly respected men in Iowa. His own obituary said he was the property of M. Lester in Mississippi until the war freed him. Quite uncommon for the time of the 1840s and place of pre-war Civil War Mississippi, young Mr. Blagburn was given an education equal to the common schools. After the fall of Vicksburg, Tom said goodbye to his mother and followed the Union forces. He served in the officers' mess on the march to the sea near the end of the war and came to Iowa with Captain William Stone, who later became governor of Iowa in 1864. Strangely enough, he also found his sister in Eldora, Iowa, as she had been rescued from slavery during the war. In Des Moines, he was the head porter for several of the finest hotels of the time, the Savory, the Kirkwood, and others. A few years later, he would experience total blindness and remain that way for the last 20 years of his life. But he continued to successfully run a newsstand, and he earned the respect of his patrons as an uncanny ability to identify them by voice alone. On one occasion, a man bought a paper, and Mr. Blagburn said, "Are you Joe Smith from Iowa City?" And he said, "I am." He had remembered him from 15 years early, merely by his voice. The only paper money that he accepted were $1 bills. He accepted all coins because he had identified the coins by the sound they made on his counter. It was said that his positive attitude was an inspiration to thousands who had passed through the hotels of the capital city of Iowa.